Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and today is one of the most notable and important days in all of XRP history. It is the conclusion of the SEC v. Ripple case. It has ended. I published a video several hours or so ago covering it pretty in depth, giving you perspective from multiple attorneys. So if you want more on that, check out my very last video. But in this video, we're going to talk a bit about price action. XRP, as I'm recording this, is about 62 cents. And it's up about 20% thanks to this news breaking this afternoon. But that's nowhere near the size of the break that we saw in price to the upside when XRP got legal clarity July 13th of last year. This is a little baby jump compared to that. And so it seems, at least to this point, and hey, glad to know we're in a bull market, which is different than July of last year, or at least at the time, even if you want to argue that because we were out of the depths of the FTX collapse. Still, once XRP got legal clarity over a year ago, the market trended to the downside and XRP just followed that. So a little bit different here. I want to talk about that. But the question as to whether or not XRP would immediately go on some sort of face-melting rally, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's been answered, because we saw XRP price a year ago double, in a matter of several hours. It did nowhere near that, and it shouldn't be that surprising, should it? XRP already had legal clarity, so there's not that many people that were willing to throw money at this thing. Maybe there's some people that didn't understand it, or they're just exuberant, so they purchased a bunch more XRP. But the good news is, even though that seems pretty clearly to be the case at this point, we are in a different environment. So if crypto is going to heat up from this particular point, yeah, XRP absolutely could continue a rally from here, even after taking a little bit of a breather, which it has been for the last several hours or so. This is a different environment, but, asterisks, if we're going to continue to see a crypto move to the downside, we may still have to wait, because it's a matter-of-fact statement. XRP has never gone on a crazy rally, certainly not one that's been sustained, on its own. It has never gone into new all-time high territory, anything of the sort, without the market going. And are we seeing the market expanding and going? Well, not yet, though it's been neat seeing certain developments recently. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so I personally am not particularly surprised that we saw a little bit of exuberance in the market, but nothing that impressive. This doesn't surprise me in the least, but XRP still has never been so incredibly well-positioned. I just don't care. And so Bitcoin also $57,427. It started ramping up in price hours after XRP did. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 20 out of 100. So market participants today are in extreme fear. So keep that in mind. There is this post from on-chain analytics firm Sentiment. And this was after the news broke. So the news broke, I think it was around 2:30 p.m. Central Time. This is at 5:12. They posted this evening. XRP's market cap has skyrocketed once again, growing by plus 23% in the past 24 hours. Wallets holding between 1 million to 10 million coins on the XRP ledger now hold an all-time high of 7.06 billion coins, $4.42 billion worth. And the project's social media discussions are at their highest levels since January. Okay, and so they don't cite that it's, with the backdrop being that the lawsuit's over. So not surprising to see social dominance is what it is. But this is a massive increase. Look what they cited here in the infographic. For August, that's a 10.4% increase in terms of accumulation of XRP. People absolutely are buying XRP. And some like the larger wallets, though, which is just fascinating to me. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. It's finally over. The stage is now set for an inevitable, in my opinion, mega run on XRP. New all-time highs are a matter of when, not if. And so I have to share, that is my sentiment as well. I think that if enough time is allowed to pass, that my strong suspicion that eventually XRP hits a new all-time high will come to pass. I just have never pretended to know exactly what that's going to look like. Sure as hell couldn't have predicted that the SEC was going to attack all of us by suing Ripple. But here we are. Either way, XRP's got legal clarity, the crypto pie keeps getting bigger, XRP becomes more and more useful, and we're in a bull market. Even if in the short term we do see some more downward price action, which some think is most likely, so what? So what? And then there will be some people, if that happens and XRP doesn't continue to the upside, they'll be bitching about XRP is broken. Well, no, that's not how this works. Either the market's going to expand or it's not, but don't expect XRP to just do its own thing. Now, if everything's going to heat up and it starts going, the whole thing, okay, fine. Here's another post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. He reposted something from somebody who is, not a fan of XRP. This guy wrote, "Why would there be a mega run in XRP? It is arguably as useless as it was at all-time high and before the lawsuit." So this is somebody who is low information, let's say. XRP is among the most useful and adopted cryptocurrencies in all of existence. And it's so funny to see, now he's not talking about Bitcoin here, but so frequently I'll see people argue that Bitcoin makes sense, buy Bitcoin, and then they'll say that XRP isn't useful. And I'm like, have you tried using XRP? Because even if you were talking about the initial intended use of a cryptocurrency as a peer-to-peer cash system, that's what Bitcoin was supposed to be. Well, XRP actually can do that. It's just so funny to me when people say that, to think, or to have, even just to have that opinion, and then be so ill-informed that you don't know that businesses and people are using it because it makes sense for their business models. Now, that's really something here. But the reason I'm highlighting this is because Credible Crypto had something to say about this. And he made a point that I've been making very regularly for months now. Because it doesn't matter what you and I think about it. The world has decided XRP makes sense. That is why it's in the top 10 coins by market cap. The market has decided. So that's why when it comes to investing in traditional finance, buying an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, there's the reason that makes sense. You don't have to do all the research on the individual companies. That's the collective beliefs and knowledge of market participants the world over betting on these companies. And so if there's companies in the S&P 500, maybe just having that broad exposure is a good idea, and data shows us for decades on end that is indeed the case. And so if you want to look on an individual level, the concept, it still can be applied in the world of crypto. Look at the top 10. It makes sense to just have broad exposure of the top 10 coins by market cap, does it not? And XRP is one of those. This is the world saying, hey, I don't care if you hate XRP. Collectively, the world does not hate XRP, or else it wouldn't be where it is. And I've been making that point. Credible Crypto is articulating the same thing. He wrote, XRP remains a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap. It doesn't matter what you or I think about its usefulness. The market as a collective is telling you that they value it more than 99% of this space. And that's a fact. It will have its time in the spotlight again, whether you like it or not. Smiley face. Spot on Credible Crypto. And that is a message I keep conveying myself because it makes sense. So to think that the market has kept XRP in the top 10 coins by market cap its entire existence, but that doesn't mean anything? Like, are you out your damn mind? That's the market telling you it makes sense just because it hasn't popped yet. Don't you think that it's just pretty well positioned then? Obviously, yes. Here's another post from Credible Crypto. I'm not a lawyer, but have read elsewhere that both sides have 60 days to appeal. Someone can correct me if wrong. At this point, I'd be happy to see this drag on a bit longer, as all it means is more time to accumulate before the eventual run. Okay, and so he's saying even if XRP doesn't blast off to the upside now, it's not going to matter in the end. It's still going to happen. And I have also read from multiple attorneys, yes, there are 60 days. There's 60 days left to file. I won't be surprised if both sides appeal, frankly. The SEC, they can appeal this decision on the programmatic side of sales, and then Ripple can go after the Torres decision as it pertains to institutional purchases. And maybe neither of them will, but I won't be surprised if they both do, to be honest with you. But it doesn't change anything. Like, XRP still has its legal clarity. It's not going to destroy anything. The case is over. And by the time we're in a new bear market, it's like, and then ultimately a bull market, like, understand that if there's an appeal like that, that's going to take years. So we're protected for this market cycle. Okay, it can't ruin it that quickly. Here's a post from Charting Guy. I am not 100% certain the bottom is in on stocks and crypto. Be very cautious this whole month, in my opinion. Dollar cost average through the pain. Have conviction in the cycles that are playing out. Our macro wave twos on Bitcoin and stocks were sideways and shallow. So it makes sense the wave 4 here is deeper. And so I wanted to highlight that because in the context of what's happening with XRP, if indeed the stock market and crypto, which gets treated about the same as far as risk on assets. If there's going to be more pain, the fact that XRP is out of the lawsuit entirely now, it's not necessarily going to matter a whole lot. And again, XRP has had legal clarity actually for over a year. This doesn't change anything. And so the market, like the fact that anybody thought it made more sense to purchase XRP today, it's irrational. And it wasn't that many people. So I think most people understood it didn't actually matter and that XRP already had legal clarity, but some people didn't, or they just got exuberant. But all that to say, the conclusion of this doesn't change anything about the long-term viability of XRP. It was already set. Just so anyway, be warned, just because we got this, it didn't change anything. And if the market's going to dip further, XRP is part of the market. Just keep it in mind. Here's another post from Charting Guy. XRP struggling here. And by the way, this is at 4:48 p.m. So this is over 2 hours after the news broke about the Ripple lawsuit. XRP struggling to get a real breakout here. In my opinion, the rest of the market needs to play along for this to happen. So a small dip / some consolidation for a bit would not surprise me. Either way, crypto should be breaking out and making new highs Q4. Sideways / down pain is almost over. And so there you go. That's the reason I wanted to highlight that as well. Because he said again, in his opinion, the rest of the market needs to play along. If you want XRP higher, it's not likely anyway. It could happen, but it's not likely to occur in the context of the market going lower. So if that happens, just be aware. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with XRP. The asset class does move in tandem, broadly speaking. That's not changed here. Here's chart analyst Dom at TraderView2. XRP, after a 4-year battle, it's final. For all those predicting moon when it finished, now is your time to shine. We just attempted breakout of the 7-year triangle again. Full acceptance over 65 cents is the key to break free. Yeah, and so that's the level that I kept seeing cited even before the most recent dip. Some would say 64 cents, some would say 65, some would even say 66 cents. We're splitting hairs just about. And so that's the level to watch for. That's not changed, and we haven't seen XRP break above that yet. Here's another post from him. He says, XRP dominance. The real action is happening here on XRP dominance. Finally breaking out of structure we watched a few weeks back. Remember, each time that zone was it, XRP's cycle pump happened after. And so you can see this chart going back a good decade or so. That has indeed been the case. Once it reaches this level, it does ultimately rocket to the upside. And he's not the only one to notice this. Here is chart analyst Cryptos. And he says, XRP dominance continues to pump. Prediction 1 month ago. It's always in the charts. And so this is where it is now. This is what he posted 3:36 p.m. this afternoon. And then he shared his post a month ago, July 8th, saying, hey, it's starting to break up. Here's what's likely to happen, and that is what happened. So it got as low as, say, about 1.05% dominance. That's what XRP got down to. And now it looks like when he posted this is at like 1.81%. That's a pretty damn big jump, especially considering there are over 20,000 freaking cryptocurrencies. That's a good jump. So we have seen XRP dominance as low as it was a month ago, but every time in history when it started moving like this, it kept going. Like it's especially if you talk about what matters to most people is XRP against a fiat currency. For many people, that's the dollar. Yeah, it ultimately did go. Is this time different? Well, I doubt it. Here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino. And he says, well, actually, there are two things. So he shared an old post from July 29th. It's not that old. It's like a week ago. But that one read as follows. XRP monthly Bollinger Bands are the tightest ever. Tighter than before the historic 60,000% rally that ended in early 2018. And so that's certainly of note. I've seen all sorts of analysts highlight that. And so he reposted that today after the news broke. And he said, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. We might have the firepower for a true breakout and expansion. Yes, well, I certainly believe that's true, even if it's not today or tomorrow or next week. I'm still guessing. Nobody knows for sure, but I'm guessing we're going to see expansion in this market. And yes, if that happens, XRP will be a part of that. That's my conviction anyway. Here's a post from Crypto Insight UK. I feel like this is the start of our pullback for Bitcoin. Move is losing strength. Open interest has space to come down and funding is green again. Which path plays out? I don't know. And so he's warning that was from this morning. And in recent hours, Bitcoin has come up a little bit, so we'll see what happens here. But he was warning, and he says, I'm bidding like 46 to 48,000-ish. If I don't get filled, then great, we hold a higher low. If I do, let's rip. So we'll find out together what happens. I'm just noting that there have been multiple analysts today talking about Bitcoin, warning, yeah, it might go lower. All right, well, we'll find out. Doesn't change anything on a higher time frame, on a bigger picture. If we're going to see expansion, we're going to see expansion, but the short-term stuff, it doesn't change that. Crypto Insight UK, another post from me says, XRP dominance breaking key resistance levels on the ruling news. I said big green candles were coming. Let's see if this continues. Look how much space we have to the upside now. And good point. And as far as dominance goes, yes, XRP has absolutely been very noticeably increasing. You'll love to see it. Then there's a separate post here where he was just noting, in his opinion, you want to see a continuation to the upside, you really need to break 64 cents for XRP. Then there's this from Mikey Bull Crypto. The XRP current rally you are seeing due to legal judgment is only getting started. I told you it's in the chart. Prepare for real fun. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a matter of time. This is one more thing that big picture isn't particularly going to matter. It's just if the market expands, it just does then, and XRP's part of it. Duh. So I look at it like that. But if you look at all sorts of various metrics, yeah, absolutely. Then there was also this from Matthew Hyland. So speaking of what is most probable in the coming months here, and he's pointed this out more than one occasion recently, but it's worth highlighting here in case you had missed this. Election years are kind of similar when it comes to Bitcoin price action. So Matthew Hyland wrote, Bitcoin historically has been quiet between July through November in election years, with major upsides starting soon after. Yeah, and so I'll just note, it doesn't as much necessarily matter who wins to markets. You know what markets really don't like is uncertainty. And right now there's this uncertainty of what's going to happen. So even after the news breaks, if the market doesn't like that, there have been instances where you see like the stock market respond a certain way, positive or negative, but then after the path forward is known, it can still recover to the upside. So given that the asset classes, risk-on assets, tend to get treated about the same, it'll just be interesting to see if we really do need to have the conclusion of this election cycle before we see further notable moves to the upside. If that's the case, that's an if, but so history's on your screen there. If that's the case, then you got another 3 months of this stuff. But then the up continues, right? Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. And he actually shared this about an hour before the news broke about the Ripple lawsuit coming to a conclusion here. But this is an XRP ETH chart, so XRP priced against ETH. And he wrote the following: there is a monumental shift underway in how XRP is valued against Ethereum. Most lack the ability to think in long-term horizons and are always late to appreciate the value proposition that has been staring them directly in the face for years on end. And so what's he highlighting there? Well, he's arguing very clearly here that when it comes to this chart XRP ETH, that it's been in Wyckoff accumulation literally for years. And so if he's right, and that's going to break out, don't be surprised if XRP substantially outperforms ETH this market cycle. And we'll find out together here. But just another reason I've never been so optimistic as an XRP holder in my entire damn life. This is exciting stuff here. And don't get caught up on, whether the bull run for XRP in the very short term continues or not based on this news. Don't get caught up, and that doesn't matter. As long as XRP has legal clarity, which it does, and as long as we see expansion in the market, which we're, fingers crossed, we're probably going to see that, we'll get ours. XRP has had more than enough time to consolidate for 6.5 freaking years now over that. Yeah, at some point in the future, it's going to hit a new freaking all-time high. Don't you think that's probable, at least, even though nobody technically knows for sure? Because that would be my for fun guess, and I'm going to see this thing through. My conviction, again, never been higher. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.